Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a highly requested video, and that is my fitness journey from the start to finish. I don't know how I feel about doing talking videos because I get kind of like insecure when I talk throughout the whole video because it's just kind of boring. But this is a very important video and I think you guys will find it to be extremely helpful and avoid making these mistakes. Keep in mind that I am not a certified personal trainer, although that is something that I would like to accomplish in the future. I am just simply sharing with you my fitness journey and what worked and didn't work for me. But before we get started, a word from our sponsor, HelloFresh. I have worked with HelloFresh before and I will never turn down an opportunity not to work with HelloFresh, and HelloFresh makes it easier for me to stay on track with my fitness journey because they deliver food right to your door and it's fast and easy to cook. All of the meals usually take about 20 minutes to prepare. If you are serious about getting started on your fitness journey and hoping to stay on track, please give HelloFresh a try. Not only does HelloFresh make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, but they also offer a huge variety of different recipes for you to choose from. HelloFresh makes it so easy for me to cook because one, I am not the greatest cook, and two, I'm just not that patient. So when it comes to saving time, HelloFresh got you covered. You can head to HelloFresh.com, use code MukdaC16 to get 16 free meals in addition to your 3 surprise gifts, and that's at HelloFresh.com. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. I love you guys. Okay, starting off with my fitness journey. Growing up, I was kind of like small, skinny, and petite. That was my genetics. My mom and my sister, my mom is like a small Asian lady. She weighs like 97 pounds. My sister is on the taller side, but still very slender and very skinny, and I was the same way. I started working out because my papa used to take me to the gym and he would usually do cardio every single day, and I would go just because I was bored. As soon as I turned 16, I was like, okay, let me start going to the gym, see what I can do. Basically did cardio every single day for an hour. That was kind of like my gateway into fitness. Not only that, but cardio was also super easy. I would go to the gym, I didn't know what to do, so I would hop on the cardio machine or like run on the treadmill for an hour every single day. Over time, I got smaller, like my overall frame got smaller, but I wanted more definition. And at that time, I didn't understand why. Like I was losing weight, my physical appearance overall was getting smaller, like I was an extra small, but I wasn't toned at all. And then I started becoming more strict with my diet. I never fully had like an eating disorder, but I was on my way there. I used to work at this pizza restaurant and I wouldn't let myself have like any salad dressing, and then that was like the moment for me. Like I had an epiphany and I was like, wait a minute, like that was when I was like, Mukda, what are you doing? And that was the moment of realization for me that what I was doing was not good. Like I was going down the wrong path when it comes to health and fitness. And from that moment at 16, and I was like, I will never treat myself like this ever again. And I never did. I made a promise to myself that health and fitness is something that I enjoy and it's one of my passion, but I'm going to approach it in a healthy way because I didn't want to damage my mental health along the way. I have a very healthy, happy relationship with food. I never feel guilty about indulging. Let me eat a big bowl of pasta and I never think, oh, I'm going to have to run this off later. Never. I don't struggle with binge eating disorder. I don't struggle with body dysmorphia or disordered eating. I wish I could talk about it more on like my Instagram and my YouTube channel, but I just feel like I don't struggle with any of those things. And the only way that could help you guys and help the fitness industry is just by me vlogging my fitness journey or me talking about like my mindset and my approach to food and fitness. People always ask me like, what's your favorite cheat meal? I don't have a cheat meal. Like I will allow myself to have anything and everything that I want. So the whole process of me like running every single day for an hour, that actually lasted 1 to 2 years. And then I started to want more definition. Like I wanted like a stronger core, I wanted more muscle. Like why am I just getting skinnier and skinnier? And then I just looked like a little boy because I was already small. And this picture is what I looked like at 16. I know a lot of you guys think that I was like a child, which I was still a child, but at 16 you can kind of tell like my basic structure. Without me going to the gym, without me having a high protein diet, this is kind of what my genetics tend to shift back into. And some of you guys, I do get a lot of hate, like saying like, oh, blah, 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 blah. That picture doesn't even count as your before. People love to discredit hard work and dedication by saying I just have good genetics, which is true. I'm naturally lean, but it's harder for me to gain weight. If it wasn't for the work that I've put in throughout the years, I would look exactly like my mom and my sister, and they look completely different than what I look like. You probably wouldn't even think that we're related. Now we're heading into like year 3 and 5 of my fitness journey. This is when I started kind of like slowly transitioning myself into weightlifting. And I did that by introducing HIIT circuits into my workouts, except I did HIIT circuits like every single day. When it comes to diet, I was still very restrictive. I didn't pay attention to food. I did HIIT basically every single day, and sometimes I would work out twice a day because I thought by me working my ass off, it would help me get results faster. I got some results from introducing HIIT, but I really just wasn't where I wanted to be. At this point, I still didn't care that much about food. I ate whatever I wanted, but it wasn't that much. Like, I thought I was eating a lot, but I was literally eating like 1,200 calories. Moving on, I did basically a couple more years of doing HIIT circuits every single day. I'm like, okay, like something's got to change because this is not where I want to be. And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go on a bulk. When I slowly started to take nutrition more seriously, I started learning how to track macros. I downloaded MyFitnessPal. I started reading labels and learn about serving sizes, and then I truly found out how much I was eating, and that's when I discovered that I was only eating around 1,200 calories per day, which was not enough for the goals that I wanted. That was my first fault, was not eating enough calories and not eating enough protein in general. Another was overtraining. I needed to have some rest days, slowly switch from doing HIIT exercises to bodybuilding, and I started creating my own workout splits where I started training legs 2 or 3 times a week and train different body parts. At this point, the only thing I cared about was to get a fat ass, and I started bulking. It was really hard. You kind of have to slowly expand your stomach. So every single week I would try to eat like 100 calories more every week, and I worked up to about 3,500 calories to 4,000 calories per day. At first I did dirty bulking. Do not recommend, because you're only going to gain fat. So when you do dirty bulking, you eat a lot of like really bad shitty foods, and then you just gain fat. But then when you go through a cutting period, you're just gonna shed off all of the fat anyways. So the main goal is to really try to eat a lot of clean protein and then build muscle. So then during cutting season, you can kind of shed the fat but still keep the muscles. And the biggest I weighed was like 168. I'll put a picture up somewhere. As 168, my butt got really big and I really enjoyed myself at 168, but it just wasn't sustainable for me. Like, I had to eat like an insane amount of food all the time. I just didn't want to do that anymore. That's when I decided to just lowered my calories down a little bit to 3,500. I tracked my food and ate on a surplus for about 1.5 years, just because I didn't care about like gaining the extra fluff. That didn't bother me. I just wanted to make sure that my bulk was going into good use and I was making serious progress, and I will be able to see my progress during my cut. And I went on a full bulk. If you don't want to gain that much fat, I'd recommend doing like a lean bulk, but it will take longer for you to achieve your goals. A lot of people do bulk for like 6 to 8 months. I just went on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it for like 1 year at least. After my dirty bulking period was over, I felt like poop all the time. No wonder. I was like, you know what, this is not working for me. Even though I am thicker and my butt is getting bigger, at the end of the day, it's not worth me me ruining my health over getting a fat ass. So I lowered my calories to 3,500 and I tried to eat basically clean. I tracked my protein intake. I kept it at 1 gram of protein per body weight. At this point, my bulking weight was 160 pounds. And I slowly gained weight throughout the years, by the way. In my bulking phase, this is when I kind of like started lifting really heavy, like really heavy. Like I remember I set a goal for myself where my hip thrust weight was going to be 405 pounds. I wanted to squat 225 pounds or something like that. This is when I was very into doing PRs. And not only that, but I was again overtraining because I really thought that if I kill myself at the gym, I'm going to get the results faster, and that's wrong. I would do like so many exercises in one day and I would spend like 3 hours at the gym. Still, my goal, I still wanted some glutes, but my legs were growing way faster than my glutes. I'll insert some pictures. Like I was making progress, but my legs were just growing so fast compared to my glutes. So this is when I sort of like learned the difference between powerlifting, which is you chasing PRs, you focusing on being as strong as possible, versus the aesthetic side of it. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm more focused on the aesthetic side of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like if you go into it with like a healthy mindset, then that's fine. And not only that, but it's my preferred way of training. So I started lowering the weight and then focusing more on form and increasing my reps. So now my reps is anywhere between like 8 to 12, sometimes 15, depending on the exercises. And then for strength, if I just want to build my strength, I would focus on like lifting really heavy, 3 sets of 5. This is when I started noticing the most glute gains in my whole entire fitness journey. I was like, wow, I finally found something that works for me. And that was lifting moderate weight, higher reps, 8 to 12. I usually try to do like 5 or 6 exercises per muscle group and focusing on form. Quality over quantity, always. So this is when I started training upper body and started taking it seriously. Like I just wanted the whole package. And if I could just start focusing a little more on my upper body, then why not? And training your back will actually give you an illusion of having a smaller waist. You will have the tapered back look. And now I am in the cutting phase where I lowered my calories to about 2,500, still very high. Because you need a lot of food still to fuel your muscles. I track here and there just to make sure that I'm on track, but since I'm already familiar with tracking, I just kind of like eyeball approximately how much protein is in a serving size. And I also still read the labels here and there. Even on my cut, I still have a very healthy relationship with food. I never feel guilt, shame, or anything like that. I try to be very aware of how I think. It's really important that when you indulge, you don't think negatively about your food choices. If I want to indulge, I just do it, get it over with. Or if I do think negatively about my food choices, it never stems from how I look or my body or my fitness goals or anything like that. It's usually from like, oh, I don't want to eat out a lot because I don't want to spend money. Like I would rather save money than eat out, so I should cook at home. Me tracking my macros also doesn't affect my mental health, but I know a lot of you who have suffered from an eating disorder, it might not be a good idea for you if you're not mentally there yet. It doesn't trigger anything for me. That's why it works for me. But if you're like super sensitive to tracking food and all of that stuff, I just wouldn't do it. At the end of the day, it's not worth it. Like you can have your dream body by doing it the right way, by approaching it in a healthy way. Because at the end of the day, I really truly don't think that it's worth it. Like, you know, putting your body through so much stress just to attain your body goals. And not only that, but what you obtain may not even be sustainable. And that is it. That basically concluded everything for my fitness journey. Currently, I am cutting, eating 2,500 calories, having a healthy, happy relationship with food, exercising because it makes me feel good, but I also still focusing on the aesthetic side and it doesn't impact me in a negative way. And yeah, that is it for my fitness journey. It's been a long time of trying to figure things out, but at the end of the day, I can honestly say me discovering fitness as a passion has benefited me in all of the positive ways, and now I just work out because it's a part of my identity and it makes me feel good. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below. I do read all of your comments and I do try to reply as many as I can. That is it for this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!